Welcome to another Thursday night Bible study, brought to you as a ministry of SIGBC.
And so today we begin a series on the subject of be loving. In the book of First Peter, we read above all, that's Peter 4:8-10, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Now that is an interesting way to express the importance of being loving. But it's actually a very practical way to express the importance of being loving. Because as we choose to be loving, we choose to see things from the other person's perspective rather than just our own. And we're therefore able to overlook the faults or the flaws or even hostility expressed by others or found in others, because we are choosing to be loving. And so when he says above all, that is more important than anything else that we've talked about. He says, do what Jesus said. Obey the command of Jesus. He said, a new command I give, that you love one another. I have loved you, so you are to love one another. By this all men know that you're my disciples, if you love one another. And so Peter, having sat under teachings of Jesus and having very frequently put his foot in his mouth and having very occasionally failed Jesus, he still learned the lessons that Jesus wanted him to learn. Remember, Peter was the only one who asked Jesus, hey, can I come to you walking on water? None of the other disciples were brave enough to do that. We look at his flaw of looking at the waves after walking on the water. But he was a person of action. And so he did get to spend time with Jesus. He was, even though he wasn't able to live the teachings of Jesus as often as he was able to listen to and learn, internalize, and actually understand and apply the teachings of Jesus. And so he was able to say, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Now, there are a number of ways of looking at the idea of love covering over a multitude of sins. The idea of cover meaning hiding, but probably more than the idea of hiding is the idea of making the faults of others not visible. In other words, when we choose to be loving, choose to focus on the difficulties we find, the struggles that we find in others, and when we choose not to focus on the faults, the struggle in others, then we are able to focus on their potential, or the good they have done in the past. It's not overlooking, it's overlooking the faults of others, but it is saying, look, I care about you deeply. Since I care about you deeply, I'm going to love you by over that, ignoring, overlooking the things you do that hurtful, harmful. It's a tall order. Remember, love is self-sacrificial. A lot of people, when they listen, they read the of Jesus, where Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself," and they focus on loving of as yourself. I've heard messages preached where that Jesus is saying yourself, because if you don't love, then you love your neighbor, because you're the source of, and the most important thing is yourself, and then you're able to love your neighbor. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I think unnatural for us to do is to the thing to do is to overlook sins, look flaws. Unnatural to do is God. Thing to do is self. Natural thing is to love. Natural thing is to love. We are to not focus on the love, focus on others should. Then that is over among with wrong other people do. In chapter 4 through 18, 19, John, who was all inner circle, James and John were the 12 that were described by Christians anyway. Inner circle. They were Jesus, the transfiguration. They were the Jesus time with James and John, as I say, their side kingdom, and the one most often referred to in teachings, and the did have evidently in the of Jesus time teaching, then even the Judas didn't evidence, but number 9 of Peter, there's her learn from, and so first or 8 old right from the years wisdom able to result of giving out the message taught. He says in 8 love one from God. Words call us to this for our being is love us. Mentioned earlier, said, "I loved you, so you." Says everyone loves to focus on God, then loving others. He love of God. Loves God. Whoever does not God does anybody who is not do why this and there's so to love each other deeply. That limit is to let us one of the problems of God. How scripture your worship you take from fine and there all
Thank you for listening. You can also join us in person or live on Facebook every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Japan time. This has been a ministry of Sakahogi International Grace Baptist Church.